In preparation for this interview, I Googled leadership books and it came back with over 3 million hits. So that just makes me want to ask, why another leadership book?
Yeah, that's a great question. If the leadership books that have been written were really having an impact on the results of employees feeling more like they're part of organizations and part of society where we would get the energy of engagement, we wouldn't have statistics like the Gallup statistics. They would have made an impact on that. And there's so much lost in terms of employee contribution by what's been written. The idea that leaders have to think in a certain way, have certain beliefs, and then a set of practices that they need to use every day to bring people together as opposed to causing divisiveness and division.
Yeah, I've probably read many of those books, not a million, but they all seem to have a set of themes that go in particular directions and are influenced by streams of thought. And really, our objective was to take leadership literature, what we call Beyond Servant Leadership, which is the subtitle, to take it in a different direction than maybe it's been in the past. In the past, it's either been we got these great leaders that everybody bows down to and thinks are just incredibly powerful and interesting, and they've got all the right decisions. Then you've got, on the other hand, servant leadership that says employees should be leading and we should be sensitive to them. But integrating those two streams of thoughts, what is it that the leader does, what is it that the employees do or the people in the organization do, is kind of an area that hasn't really been explored too much. And in particular, the dynamic that goes on in a great organization when leaders and employees work together, or leaders and organizational members work together to achieve extraordinary things. What does that dynamic look like? And it's hard to find in the literature, in any of these books, how that happens and where does that emerge. And that's what we thought was unique about what we were trying to put together.
In servant leadership, we believe in all of those teachings, but it only goes so far, because a leader not only has to pay attention to all of the, let's say, the soft skills that are important for people, but there's a mission that organizations have to deliver results, to perform, and sometimes that's difficult. And it flies right in the face of seemingly employees who might not agree or might have different ideas. So you have to bring those two together. It's not only about servant leadership, it's about serving the mission of the organization. And we try very hard to bring those two concepts together in this book.
Yeah, in fact, I think you could argue that a lot of the books on leadership kind of fall into one or two categories. They were focused on great leaders with great missions and great values and great strategists. And then on the other hand, it's like how to care for the people and work with the people that you're working with in your organization. But very few of them talk about bringing those two forces together. So I think that's what's unique about our book, is that we bring together, you have to have a mission. You have to have a strategy, but you also have people that you have to bring along with you, and you have to maximize and help them self-actualize in what they're doing. And talking about that dynamic of how they fuse together is probably the part that's missing in much of the literature that's out there.
And the statistics that we talked about a little earlier, the lack of engagement, the lack of a feeling that leaders respect and care about what people need. The statistics would be better if those two things were coming together, and the statistics aren't good, so we have to move the needle.